Hi everybody, Patty Cesarini alongside Lianna Baxter from our women's basketball program. This interview is presented by Serra Rochester Hills. Lee, which all of us like to call her here, thanks so much for sitting down and chit-chatting with me today.
Yeah, of course.
So I want to talk about your basketball journey. You go from being a bench player into then getting hurt and being out an entire season, and then this year, or this past season, now you're a starter. You know, just take me kind of through the steps, the ebbs and the flows of that for you.
Yeah, I know that was a lot of three years and a lot of three different years. There was so much that was happening, both like for me personally and for our whole team, and that was a lot of tough transitions to work through. I know my freshman year coming in, I had that mentality of I probably am not going to play a lot. I'm a freshman. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to get in the gym. I'm going to do what I need to do, and then my hard work will pay off. But that hard work led to an injury, and unfortunately that led to me having to sit out, and that was probably the toughest mental challenge that I had to go through. Because my freshman year, I was coming in the standpoint, I'm just going to work hard, but then my sophomore year, I'm like, I can't do anything because I'm sitting on the couch, I'm at home. I stayed home over the summer for my surgery.
It's so hard for an athlete too to just sit still.
Yeah, that was really hard for me because was non-weight bearing for so long and I couldn't even stand up. I'm like stressing out. I'm like, oh my goodness, like what's happening? And that was like the biggest mental challenge. But as I started going through my recovery, I had like my athletic trainers, my coaches were just so amazing at helping me get through the whole process that it made it so much easier. And then as soon as I was able to step on the court again, my sophomore year, I was like a practice player, I was helping my team in any way I could, and that helped me get through the mental hump because I was still able to contribute without being able to be on the court.
Right. And what was the injury specifically?
Specifically, it was a lateral meniscus tear.
Oh, gosh, yeah, that's just, and I know there's different ways to go about it too. If they clean it up, right? Because there's two options. One, they can clean it up, and then the other one, they can just take it out completely together, right? And then kind of just put another little piece in there. But the cleanup is what takes longer to heal, right?
And that's what I decided to do.
Yeah, because they say it's better for you, though,
yeah,
right?
it is.
Than having to kind of replace it.
Yeah, if you completely like take it out, then your recovery is like way quicker. Like you get to be back on the court in 6 to 8 weeks instead of non-weight bearing for 6 to 8 weeks, which is what I was, which was a huge difference. And that was a tough decision as well because I had to weigh the difference between getting a full recovery that's healthier for my body or I would be able to play quicker and get on the court faster. And I ended up making that decision of I wanted everything to be as smooth as possible for me now and me in the future.
Yeah, how do you make a decision like that? Because I'm sure you were looking a lot into the future of like, what do I really want in the long run for myself?
Yeah.
But, how do you just kind of come to that conclusion? I'm sure it maybe took a while.
Oh yeah, it definitely took a while because after my freshman year, we went to the doctor when I went back home after the season was over. And I had that whole summer one semester to be like, where are we going forward with this? How are we going to handle it? And I had to have a lot of talks with my coaches and with my family of like figuring out what the next steps going forward are. So it definitely was not an easy decision to make.
Yeah, I know. But then you finally get through all the hoopla, right? Of making the tough and the difficult decisions. And then this past year, now you're on the court almost all the time. You're starting for the team. What do you make of all of those tough decisions, seeing all of it pay off now?
That was really amazing. I was really able to see just all my blessings and everything just fall into place. It was a really great moment because I was able to actually see it pay off because for the past 2 years it'd been all working towards something. And I'm like, okay, when am I gonna finally see this pay off? And it was just amazing. Yeah. And it was so much fun to be able to do that. And especially with the group of girls that we had this year, like it was just a lot of fun to be able to play and just see it all come and have other people see it too.
Right,
like,
it was see it all come to fruition.
Yeah, exactly.
But those 2 years, you're really looking at the light at the end of the tunnel. Were there times where maybe that light for you started to feel like it's getting a little bit darker? Like how do you get through that for 2 years? That is hard to do for anyone, and then you throw being an athlete on top of it, throwing in the mixes of not being able to do anything. Just like how do you see the light at the end of that tunnel?
That, I know, especially that transition from my freshman to sophomore year, when I found out that I did have that injury, that was probably the moment where that light started to get smaller.
Right.
Because I'm like, this whole year I've been working towards something, and now I have to start from ground zero again, because I have to learn how to walk again. I have to do all these things, and it's like, so what was all that work for if all of a sudden I'm going to not be able to do it anymore? But then I think I stayed home for my surgery over that summer. Staying home and being with my family definitely was a grounding point for me that helped kind of shift my perspective. And I've talked to you about this before, but that kind of shift in perspective to where, like, I'm grateful for all of the blessings that I have right now, and this is an opportunity for me to grow in more ways than just on the court and with my basketball skills. It's for me to grow as a person and how I'm motivated and how I do everything in my life, not just basketball, and that perspective shift helped in all areas of my life.
Yeah, what did you learn about yourself outside of basketball in that time period?
I learned that to find joy in the journey. Like, not always is it gonna be like, I have to see this result pay off. Sometimes all the hard work is a blessing in itself. And that's something that you can take pride in and be happy for, because you don't always need this big moment where you're like, wow, everything paid off, because everything was just so amazing trying to work there.
Yeah, the gradual build of it. You know, and now you're going into senior year.
Yeah.
What do you make of this now? Like, you do have another year because you have the red shirt, right? But even still, like, when you put a label on it, and it's like, okay, this is senior year. Like, it's still kind of like that big moment, even though you know that you have an extra year. You know.
Yeah.
Through all this, you take it, and again, now it's kind of that you're getting to the end of the rope here. You got this year and the next one. What are you most looking forward to? You got the off season.
Yeah.
But
I am most looking forward to getting the opportunity again to play and just have so much fun with my senior year. I know, like, I do have another year of eligibility after that because of the red shirt, but like, it feels like it's gone by so fast. I'm like, how am I a senior already? Like, and I think the thing I'm most looking forward to is I graduate at the end of next year. Like, I'm so excited.
Yeah, girl,
for
walk
that.
across that stage.
I'm so ready, and like I'm an education major, so I'll be starting student teaching in the winter, and I'm so excited to be able to do that. And I know that that comes with a whole new challenge of balancing that with basketball as well. But I'm really excited to have all those things kind of come into place, because it just makes it so much more meaningful.
Oh, yeah. And I know everyone here is so happy for you, because we've all seen your journey too. You know, like, we've seen it, but only really from an outsider perspective. We can only imagine how difficult that is. So I appreciate you, coming on today and talking about the hardships, but also the joy that you were able to find in the journey as well. So thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.